Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host, LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back for the first time this year, I think, because God, it really has been that long, hasn't it? To, let's play some more Gran Turismo 3, the ultimate driving simulator, where somewhere in the confines of 2021, because it's been a long time, because that's kind of how the world works these days, we did a little bit in the FR challenge with our absolutely wonderful RX-7 LM race car that's just been just kicking people's asses all over the place, and I really enjoy it that way. And so we're gonna have a nice little jaunt about town and make some more progress here, because I'd like to finish this series sometime before it takes me literally a decade to do it. So let's move along with ourselves, and we got some catching up to do because things have happened since last we met. One of which was I turned 34 years old while I had COVID. And that was fun. I don't even know if I'm even allowed to say that word, because it's apparently like the most taboo thing in the world now. So apparently you can't say it without getting like demonetized for stuff. So I hope that doesn't screw everything up. But yeah, I totally came down with that 4 days before my birthday, and so I got to spend my birthday alone by myself in my room, watching anime while I was in crippling pain with literally zero energy. So that's yep. And yeah, Preston had it, Haley got it, Harrison got it. The first day that the day after I tested positive for it, I got to take Harrison to the hospital because he started showing signs of it, and I was asymptomatic when I first tested positive for it, and so I didn't feel anything for the first couple of days, and then it just hit me like a freight train. And so I took Harrison because literally everybody just about in my immediate circle had it. Michaela had it, Preston had it, Haley had it, Harrison had it. It just everybody got stricken with the madness. And then I got it, and then after I got done having it, my mom got it, and so she just got over it. So for a nice solid month, basically, just about, it seemed like at least one person had it. But it wasn't super severe. Like, the only part, I'm really glad that I didn't get what a lot of other people that I've read and talked to have gotten, where it gets into the lungs and it gets into the sinuses, and then the breathing is really difficult, and you got to get the respirators and all that stuff. Luckily, that wasn't me. I mean, I have a very strong immune system, which I would have to assume that my my lifelong career of being in the field of vitamin sales and slamming them like freaking Tic Tacs at this juncture probably helped me out a little bit in that sense. And so we had all of the different things that doctors had recommended at our disposal, and so in a I had all the stuff. I had the N-acetylcysteine, which the pharmaceutical companies have been trying to monopolize out of the natural industry for basically since this all started, because they know that it works and they want to make all the money out of it because they're a bunch of greedy jerks. And I had the vitamin C and the zinc and the D3, and I had Mullen, and I had oil of oregano and garlic and olive leaf and elderberry, and literally like I had just like this grocery bag filled to the brim with like every immune booster that I could think of known to man at my disposal to use, along with copious amounts of Tylenol and ibuprofen. And I mean, I think that all those things really saved my bacon, because I was terrified. Like, the only thing that really freaked me out is, like, the thing that got me was I got the really bad body aches, and I just had like super heavy fatigue. I had no energy to do literally anything. I mean, it took so much out of me just to get up to go to the bathroom or to go get a bottle of water to stay hydrated. I mean, I probably over the course of 11 days of which I had it before I tested negative again, I probably drank legit like 25 bottles of water. I mean, I was so paranoid that if I didn't stay hydrated enough that I was going to have to go to the hospital and get IVs and all that stuff. And I don't have health insurance. So, hey, yeah, you know, nothing says happy birthday like a, you know, $15,000 hospital visit or however much it is. I'm afraid to know anymore because, you know, it's just basically it might as well be a death sentence to your wallet. I mean, like a few years ago, I went to the hospital just to get a shot in my shoulder because I totally messed up my shoulder/neck. Just, I don't even know what I even did. And just that one visit, getting two little injuries for like 15 minutes. It's just like, you know, that's highway robbery. Like you enclosed my car on the freeway, made me pull over, ripped me out of the car, kicked me in the stomach and the genitals until I was, you know, puking blood and other contents of my previous meal. You stole my wallet, and then, you know, you whacked me in the face with a tire iron and left me to die. Like, that's basically the nature of what that was like. So I couldn't even imagine going there for like something exceptionally serious like that, but it is what it is. But, and the part that was even worse is, like, for like half of the time that I had it, I'm just laying there in bed, barely functional, and I'm sitting here still trying to get my college work done because you know, I was afraid of getting behind in my scripting languages class, and so yeah. It eventually got to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, just me trying to lay here and think of, you know, trying to understand, you know, doing, you know, for loops and nested if-then loops in Python is just like, this is just too much for me right now. I can't handle it. And then trying to do, you know, digital forensics and ethical hacking labs, it's just, I can't handle it. And so I just had to tell all my professors, like, look, guys, I've been trying to muscle this thing out for the last like 4 or 5 days, but I've got stricken with the doom gene, and so I can't do this right now. Like, I'm gonna need extensions on my assignments because I can't do it. And they're just like, don't worry about it. We'll, you know, just get better first. You know, it's not worth you overexerting the energy to try to get something done that you can easily do, you know, when you're not feeling like somebody put a dead person in a microwave and warmed them over and, you know, did some weird ritual with a copper bowl and a goat in someone's basement. So they're just like, just, you know, we'll deal with it when it's all done. So that's cool. It's nice that, you know, when you can get professors that aren't such, you know, tightwads where they're just like, I don't care, a due date's a due date and there is no exception. You do it, or either you do it or I'll fail you. I don't care if you're on your deathbed, you know, communicating via Morse code. So it was nice. But I watched an excessive amount of anime while I was in my you know, feeble state. I was like, you know what, I might as well capitalize on a whole bunch of series that I've been wanting to watch over the last couple years that I just haven't had time for. That, I mean, there's literally no better time than now. There's no distractions to be had. I mean, nobody can come in here. I can't leave. I'm not doing school, and I don't have the energy to do literally anything else, so here we go. And so I finished Dragon Ball Super, which I'm glad I did, because I literally had been stuck at the beginning of the Goku Jiren saga for quite a while, and I'd been really wanting to get to the end of that, because I was literally sitting on the last like 25 episodes for like 11 months. I finally got around to it, so I was really happy to cross that one off the list. And then I finally watched Mob Psycho 100, because I heard from a lot of people that it was a pretty cool series, and it was short, and just like the visuals were really interesting, and the story was, you know, kind of charming and what have you. And so I watched it, and I was like, it was good, but I was just like, I felt it like all times while I was watching it. I could never really. It had just like this really weird vibe, and like I liked it, but I didn't like it. Like I had like this really weird love-hate relationship with the main character, where it's just like he's so just like droll and dull and boring, but then as soon as he decides that he wants to like just dial it up and rip into somebody, then all of a sudden it's like, dude, this guy's sick. But it was just like really few and far between, and some of the other characters just like didn't really quite mesh for me. It just, I don't know. So I know that there's Mob Psycho 102 or whatever it is, and so I want to check that out when you know, when the time comes. So I got that one done. I watched the first 4 episodes of Dr. Stone because I heard that Dr. Stone was really good, but that one was. They didn't have a dubbed version on HBO Max of it yet, so, and I was in a state where I was like, you know what, I don't have the energy to try to, you know, read through subtitles. Like, I just want to be able to hear it and vaguely be able to see it, because the height of my TV is like barely above my bed, so if I'm not like in the perfect angle, this is just not gonna work. And so I only got through 4 episodes of that before I just decided to put it on pause until I was feeling better. And then I watched all of whatever, I think it's just probably the first season, or whatever it was that Hulu had, of Demon Slayer. So that one was really good. I'm really glad I got around to that one, because I had been hearing nothing but great things about it, and I started getting into it a couple different times, but I only got like 3 or 4 episodes in, and then somehow it got reset on Hulu, and so I had to go do it again. And so, finally watched all that. It was really good. I'm glad I did that one. I watched Akame ga Kill all the way through, and that one was also really awesome. I liked virtually everything about that. I watched another, I think I'm on like episode like 130 of Black Clover now, out of like 175 or however many episodes are of that. So I'm plowing along pretty good here. And then I started watching Bleach, because over the years, you know, I've probably seen, of the 330 episodes or however many it has, I've probably seen about 150 of them, but they've been staggered out through basically, you know, high school all the way through now. So I was just like, you know what, I've seen enough of it, I might as well just start from the beginning and, you know, and get all the way and start getting all the way through it. So I'm on episode like 45 now. So over the last, you know, 3.5 weeks, I've watched probably like, I don't know, probably about like, you know, 200 combined episodes of various anime shows. So it was pretty sweet. It was pretty legit. But after I finally got over it, I think the part that was more annoying were the after effects of all of it, and that part was way more frustrating for me. Like, the day after I tested negative, I decided to go and spend time with the kids, because I hadn't seen them in almost 2 weeks. And so I went over to the apartment, and I was just like, I'm gonna spend as much time as I have the energy for, because this is the first time I've been virtually out of the confines of my room and my kitchen, and so I'm just gonna see, you know, what I can do. And I was literally only able to be out of the house before I had to go back home and lay down for like an hour and a half, and like barely even doing anything. I just like, that level of exerting my energy was too much. And it's like, it's so frustrating. It's like, I just want to be able to go and do the things that I normally do, and it's like, if I'm off my feet for more than 10 minutes, then I gotta be, you know, back down on my feet, because it's like, it's just like you start having difficulty breathing, because you're just exhausted already. And it's like, you know, I lost a bunch of weight because I didn't have any appetite at all, and my muscles, you know, I lost a bunch of mass in my muscles, and I'm sure they probably atrophied a little bit, because I was virtually just not moving really at all for the better part of a couple of weeks. And so it was weird. Like, even just climbing a flight of stairs was so taxing on my system. It drove me crazy. It's like, I feel like, you know, before I got it, I was 33 years old, and by the time I got done with it, I was like 75. It's just, you know, it's just like, what happened to, you know, my entire being? It was crazy. The part that was really only, and like, I've finally gotten to the point where I've recovered now. Every once in a while, I have like these like 10-minute stretches, but they're really few and far between, where it's just like really hard to breathe, and then it'll go away and it'll be fine. It's odd. It's like, I hope that that's not a thing that just happens now, where it's just a permanent, you know, random, you know, breathing ailment that goes for a few minutes and then it's gone, you know. So hopefully that's not the case. I'm sure it probably won't be. Oh, this is Deep 4. I didn't even register that we were doing this race. And now it gives me the perfect opportunity. We're going first person again. Oh yeah. It's the only place that I'll do it. But it really, I actually really enjoy doing first person perspective on this race, just because it's so much harder, I feel, to race not in this perspective. Because it's just, everything is just at a really awkward viewing angle here, and so this just affords me so much more control of what I'm doing. I'm good with it. Alright, let's just focus for a moment here. My mouth's kind of getting a little bit dry because I've been talking literally without stopping for almost 20 minutes, so just, just give me a quick minute here. So, oh god, okay. Here we go. We're good. Look at a little 10 lap John here. The last time we did this race, it was a really competitive race. We were obviously using a very, very different car for the experience. I'm fairly certain by the end of this we're going to end up probably having a 35-second lead, I'm sure. But the car, I don't remember what car we used last time, but man, it was so good. It was just competitive from wire to wire all the way down to the last lap, even though we took the huge lead. With the rubber banding in this game gets a little nauseating sometimes, but we're good. We're definitely good. So I decided to clean out my PS2 a little bit, because I've noticed over time that thing, just looking at it, it was disgusting. I mean, at some point, I don't know when or how it happened, but something got spilled on that, and it got inside, and I'm thankful that it didn't just, you know, screw with all the circuitry and what have you. But I noticed I went to take out a disc and put something else in, and the eject button was just like sticking hardcore. I'd have to basically slam the button in to get the thing to open, and I was afraid that I was gonna break the button, and then I'd have to get another one. And I want to, because I've had this PS2 Slim for a long time. I mean, probably, I don't know, 15 years maybe. I mean, I've had it for a really long time, and I don't want to have to part ways with it, because, you know, it's one of the staples of my gaming collection. I've logged a lot of hours on that PS2, and so I was like, I gotta do what I can to save this thing. I don't want to have it go by the wayside. And so I went and started cleaning it up, and God, dude, it was so gross. It was just like caked on liquid on the top of it, in like all the grooves and nooks and crannies, and, you know, inside of the disc tray area. It was freaking disgusting. And I still haven't been able to get all of it out, because the eject button still kind of sticks, and it's just, it's gnarly. It's gnarly. So, but at least it's working okay. So that is the good news. All right, let's get going here. Super pumped for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the Super Bowl, of which I'm not excited. Yeah. While I was sick, I totally had the divine pleasure of watching Green Bay totally choke in the worst possible way to the Niners in the playoffs, and yet again, they got denied a Super Bowl when they were the favorite to get there, because they ripped through everybody in the regular season like a hot knife through butter. And then, For what? I don't get what it is. I really do not get what it is with Green Bay and San Francisco, but they can't ever beat them ever. Aaron Rodgers against the Niners in the playoffs is 0-5 now. Oh, God, we're having a rough go here. Really having a rough go here. Now we're going to be almost in fourth. I just don't get it. Like, no matter how good or how completely average the Niners are, just like they were, going into this thing, they just can't win. It's the most nauseating thing, and I just don't understand it. I know, and that's the part that's even more frustrating. The Seahawks, who were absolute hot trash this year, no offense, but it's true, they beat them twice. And Green Bay, who, beat San Francisco in the regular season, playing at home in the snow, which you would think would give them every conceivable advantage imaginable. They go up 7-0 on the first drive, and they score 3 points the rest of the game, and their defense was incredible up until the one mishap of the entire game. They get a blocked punt for a touchdown. It's just so dumb. And that's what dooms them. That's what ruins the game and their opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. Because I have full confidence that they would have beaten the Rams. I really do. And so now I have to sit here with another year wasted, and Rodgers possibly going to another team, and then Green Bay going into the proverbial dumpster for the next 5 to 10 years. Huh? Rodgers won the MVP this year, dude. He was the best player in all of football this year. So, yep. And if he goes somewhere else, Green Bay will be a bottom 5 team in the league for 5 to 10 years. I mean, it'll be that. It'll be mass exodus, because he'll leave, Devontae Adams will leave, and that's like, 40% of your offense right there. And the backup quarterback is awful. Jordan Love was such a disastrous draft pick for them to make. I still will never be able to understand why they did that. And so, unless they got a trick up their sleeve, which very clearly they don't, because I just don't see it happening, it's going to be... So fingers crossed that they can bring him back for 1 or 2 more years, because obviously, even though he's like 37 years old, I mean, he's playing at Tom Brady level, just not with the level of Tom Brady execution when it matters the most. But otherwise, I mean, he's arguably the most talented player in football, because he makes throws that are seemingly impossible all the damn time. But the frustration never goes away. Yeah. So, but I'm pumped though. I love Super Bowl Sunday. It's Super Bowl and March Madness and college football bowl season. Those are my 3 favorite times of the year as far as sports are concerned. And obviously the occasional coming through of the Olympics, i.e. what we got on right now. The Winter Olympics aren't my favorite, but I'll still watch it every day that it's on, because it only comes around once every 4 years. And some of the visuals of it being in Beijing are some of the wackiest shit I have ever seen. I mean, it's the viral photo that's been kind of passed around the internet that I saw the picture, and I've seen it live on TV more times than I can count, was during some of the snowboarding events where they're doing like the big air and like some of the alpine skiing stuff, where you can see like the locale that they built the venue at makes absolutely no sense. It's in like the middle of like an industrial park, and then you just got like these big ass snowboard jumps and like alpine tracks and stuff, and there's like these giant nuclear plant stacks that are back there, and you're just like, what the hell is this? Like, what kind of weird ass dystopian future are we looking at here, where you got people in an area where there's absolutely no snow, that you had to build an entirely man-made snow area in a nuclear plant area where they've got Beijing 2022 slapped on the side of one of those things. Like, this is the most absurd thing ever. Like, if you haven't seen it, You've gotta look it up. It is the most surreal and hilarious thing. Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, you've gotta be kidding me. Like, this is unbelievable. It's ridiculous. It's just like, I mean, because there's a whole bunch of other areas in China where it's just like barreling out snow, and it makes perfect sense. Like, if you're gonna have the winter games, it's supposed to look like winter out there. Like, you're supposed to have snow, like, everywhere. You're not supposed to be doing it in like a giant glorified, you know, parking lot basically that's super empty with a bunch of like decommissioned nuclear buildings and stuff around. Like, it doesn't. I mean, that'd be like having the winter games in the middle of the freaking Sahara Desert, you know, like during the summer. Like, it doesn't make any sense with the way that it looks at all. So it was something. But I love watching it. I love watching speed skating and alpine skiing and like luge and skeleton, which the skeleton thing is by far one of the most like anxiety-inducing things to watch. Because you got people that are like, they're going like 82, 85 miles an hour on basically like a glorified janitor's cart. Like, you know, like the weird little scooter carts that we used to ride in elementary school during PE, but it's just like double the length. And your chin's like 4 inches off the ground, and like one false move and you are so far in your own grave. It's just, oh god. I'm just watching, I'm like, how can you guys even do this? Like, I wouldn't even have the stones to even think about it. It is no way. Absolutely not. But other than that, yeah, it's a blast. Like, I'll get home from work and I'll watch it, you know, while I'm doing homework and stuff. I'll watch it from, you know, 7 o'clock all the way to midnight, just because I can't get myself away from it. It's too entertaining for me. You know, curling and all that stuff. I love watching curling, because especially men's curling, USA men's curling, because it literally just looks like a bunch of just random dads that, you know, they like, you know, their wives are all at Target and they're just like, dude, we gotta go find something to do really quick, and so they just go walk into the arena, and you know, they got like, you know, they're not like super in shape necessarily, and they've got snapback hats on and bold mustaches, and they look like just like average Joes out there, just busting out the brooms and all this. It's great. I love it. It's fantastic. So yeah, but yeah, Super Bowl's tomorrow. I'm picking Cincinnati. Cincinnati, literally in my lifetime, hasn't been to a Super Bowl, so it's actually kind of exhilarating that you get new people in there, and it's a historic Super Bowl, because it's the first time, I think, ever that there's been a Super Bowl between two teams that were seeded 4th or lower, and so it's kind of fun to see new blood in there for a change. Even though I don't like the Rams, it's cool to see teams that, you know, nobody outside of The Simpsons, because The Simpsons does this shit all the time. Somehow The Simpsons, at some point, I don't know when it was, but they correctly predicted that the Rams and the Bengals would play in the Super Bowl, and I swear to God, if the score that they predicted happens, I'm going to be a full believer in the fact that The Simpsons is connected with the Illuminati, or like, you know, the Bilderberg group, or whatever the other crazy thing, you know, what's the word? Conspiracy, you know, theory projects and whatever, and like, you know, the Rockefeller group and all, and whatever all the other ones that, you know, the secret societies of the world's elite and stuff that I'm sure probably totally exist, but, you know, the people that are the ones that talk about them are the ones that are, you know, the people that are driving around in motorhomes that are parking in a Walmart parking lot that have scrawled these crazy run-on paragraphs about the end of the world in, you know. So I see that all the time, by the way. It's one of the wildest things. you see them all the time, and they got all this weird run-on shit about how, you know, certain people are going to take over the world, but it's not even like most of it is just nonsensical just psychobabble. It's ridiculous. No. Oh, no. These are people that have probably been, you know, drinking bleach and huffing rubber cement for like 25 years. People that are trying to die, I suppose. I did. Ooh, what have we here? Really digging it. I like the body kit that it has on it too. It's like a little too wide for my liking, but I like the way it looks. If it was just like a little bit more condensed, I think I'd like it more. But other than that, no, it looks great. And I like the color. You can't go wrong with that kind of alpine white. Let's take a look at it really quick. We're almost out of time for this episode, but let's at least have a look at it. Yep, Nismo GTR road car, 301 horsepower. We can probably bolster that up a nice amount too, I'll bet. Am I going to do it right now, though? Probably not. Could have actually used it in that FR challenge, probably, but I think that it was probably better that we used what we used. Game status, we're at 89% win ratio. I want to get it above 90 so bad. We've been teetering on this for a really long time. I mean, over the course of 317 races, we've just been hanging right there. I want to be able to win enough to get back above 90% and have that A grade, you know. So, all right. Well, I think that we're gonna stop right here, and when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Gran Turismo 3: The Ultimate Driving Simulator, let's go have a look really quick on what's still left to do. I mean, obviously there's plenty. We've got the 4-wheel drive challenge, and I've got a number of cars that we can use for that. I'm just not sure what we're gonna go with. I think let's figure that out really quick before we end. That way I don't spend the first part of the episode just, you know, screwing around with that. So yeah. We've got.
How many races did you do?
I did 2.
Not very long.
Well, I mean, they were 10-lap races each, so took about 15 minutes a pop. So let's see. We got rally car. I'm not going to use a rally car for that. That's not going to be fast enough. Mine's Lancer Evo 394. If I beefed it up enough, it might be okay. But we've got this one. Ooh, that one's at 581. That's an S-tune. I'll think about that. Let's see what else we have. Yes, we're gonna do it. The new Beetle RSI, baby. Oh yeah. And
what?
No, absolutely not. Hell no. I would rather drive a golf cart than that. I really would. Because I have never at any point in my life, past, present, or future, past lives when I was probably, you know, on like the Hindenburg before it exploded, I've never liked Beetles. I've always thought those were some of the ugliest looking cars. But what are you gonna do? Okay, so as far as okay, or this, it's got 900 horsepower. I keep forgetting about that. That one's got 798. I mean, we could use the brand new one that we got. Might as well, you know, get it out there for a race, just so it's not just polluting the garage. And we still have almost $3 million to spend, so I got no problem with beefing it up and throwing it out there for 3 races. Why not?
Now?
I mean, I've got this, but I mean, that's not even fair. I personally refuse to use this car because it's not fair. 1,700 horsepower is so far over the limit that it's not okay at all. Ooh, we do have this. How did I miss these? I don't know. That may not be strong enough though. If I
want to use this out.
I'm not using that. I have a policy against using that car.
Why?
Because it's cheating, is what it is.
It's not.
Yes, it's got almost 2,000 horsepower. It's not even fair. I might use it for a race, but I will not use it in anything else. Okay, let's have a look here. So most of these things are already done for. I don't know if we're going to be able to do much here. I think, if anything, we might be able to get a turbo kit. Okay, ooh. Oh my god! Oh yeah, let's go. All right. Oh yeah, we're doing that. I don't need. Oh boy. Woo. Okay. Yep. I am all about that. Okay, we have racing tires on it already. Yeah, we've got these. I kind of want to get a pair of slicks, because the lifespan on them is way better. That'll keep me from.
Wait, your cars can break?
No, well, your tires can wear down.
Then they can pop.
No, but I mean the longer they wear down, the harder it is for you to steer, and it gets ridiculous after a while. Okay, yep, we are absolutely going to use the LM race car for this next wave because, yeah. I mean, it's one thing that it looks as good as it looks. I mean, that's like a big contributing factor. It's actually really cool that it has the Gran Turismo logo on the door. And it's like, I'm not a big Subaru guy. Like, I'm on record in this series and probably the other two Gran Turismo series about my general loathing of Subarus, because I just think that they're... Ugh. But in this game, you give me one that at least has some cool decals on it and stuff. Rally cars are cool. Those are for dedicated rally races though, so I'll do them later. But you give me that car, it looks, for what it is, it looks pretty cool, and it's beefed up to all get out, so I'm super down for that. So we're gonna call it good right here, my friends. When we come back next time, we're gonna take the Impreza race car for a spin a few times and see what she's got. So until then, this is your host, Lovely Cheese Pizza, saying thank you guys for joining myself and Preston tonight, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, everybody. By the way, I'm picking in the Super Bowl. I'm picking Cincinnati to. I want them to win. So these are the two scores I'm gonna pick, because I either think that Cincinnati is gonna win by 3 on a field goal, or, and I'll call it 26-23. So, or the Rams are gonna win 31-17. I think that either Cincinnati is gonna eke it out at the very end, or the Rams are gonna win by 2 touchdowns or more. That's just kind of the way I see it. So. There it is. I'm on record for that. If you guys want to throw your predictions in the comment section, go for it, because I like hearing that stuff. So, yep, again, we'll chat some more. I got some stories for next episode, and we'll go from there. So, you guys take it easy. Have a good one. Bye.